Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text number 41. Sattvam Rajastama iti Tisra Surani Narakaha Tisra Surani Narakaha Tatrapi Ekai Kashorajan Tatrapi Ekai Kashorajan Vidyante Gatayasthitha Vidyante Gatayasthitha Yadaikaikataro Anyabhyam Yadaikaikataro Anyabhyam Swabhava Upahanyate Swabhava Upahanyate Sattvam Rajastama iti Tisrasuranarakaha Tatrapi Ekaikashorajan Vidyante Gatayasthitha Yadaikaikataro Anyabhyam Swabhava Upahanyate Sattvam Rajastama iti Tisrasuranarakaha Tatrapi Ekaikashorajan Vidyante Gatayasthitha Yadaikaikataro Anyabhyam Swabhava Upahanyate Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Rajaha, the mode of passion. Tamaha, the mode of darkness. Iti, thus, Tisraha, the three. Sura, demigod. Nri, human being. Narakaha, one who is suffering hellish conditions. Tatra, api, even there. Ekaikashaha, another. Rajan, O king. Vidyante, divide into. Gatayaha, movements. Tridha, three. Yada, at that time. Ekaikataraha, one in relation with another. Anyabhyam, from the other. Swabhavaha, habit. Upahanyate, develops. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Samshila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. According to the different modes of material nature, the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of darkness, there are different living creatures who are known as demigods, human beings, and hellish living entities. O king, even a particular mode of nature being mixed with the other two, is divided into three, and thus each kind of living creature is influenced by the other modes and acquires its habits also. Kindly repeat. According to the different modes of material nature, the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of darkness, there are different living creatures who are known as demigods, human beings, and hellish living entities. O king, even a particular mode of nature being mixed with the other two is divided into three, and thus each kind of living creature is influenced by the other modes and acquires its habits also. Perfect. The living entities individually are being conducted by a particular mode of nature, but at the same time, there is every chance of their being influenced by the other two. Generally, all conditioned souls in the material engagement are influenced by the modes of passion because every one of them is trying to lord it over material nature to fulfill his individual desire. But in spite of the individual mode of passion, there is always the chance of being influenced by the other modes of nature by association. If one is in good association, he can develop the mode of goodness. And if in bad association, he may develop the mode of darkness or ignorance. Nothing is stereotyped. One can change his habit by doing by good or bad association, and one has to become intelligent enough to discriminate between good and bad. The best association in the service of the devotees of the Lord, and by the association, one can become the highest qualified man by the grace of Lord's pure devotees. As we have already seen in the life of Srila Narada Muni, he became the topmost devotee of the Lord simply by the association of pure devotees of the Lord. By birth, he was the son of a maidservant and had no knowledge of his father and no academic education, even of the lowest status. But simply by associating with the devotees and by eating the remnants of their food, he gradually developed the transcendental qualities of the devotees. By such association, his taste for chanting and hearing the transcendental glories of the Lord became prominent. And because the glories of the Lord are non-different from the Lord, he got direct association with the Lord by means of sound representation. Similarly, there is the life of Ajamila, sixth canto, who was the son of a Brahmana and was educated and trained properly in the discharge of the duties of a Brahmana. But who, in spite of all this, because he contacted the bad association of a prostitute, was put into the path of the lowest quality of Chandala, or the last position for a human being. Therefore, the Bhagavatam always recommends the association of the Mahat, or the great soul, for opening the gate of salvation. To associate with persons engaged in lording it over the material world means to enter into the darkest region of hell. One should try to raise himself by association of the great soul. That is the way of the perfection of life. The Zend the Bhakti Vedanta Bhakti. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravadi Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine हे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. Where is Sitanath? So living entities from Sura, Nri, Narakaha, demigods, human beings, and the living beings who are in the hellish condition. All of them are influenced by three modes of material nature: Sattvam, Rajas, Tama, Iti. Every living being is influenced by these three modes, and Swabhava Upahanyate. Their Swabhava, their habit, is actually controlled by these three modes of nature. So, at any given moment, a living entity is influenced by one mode prominently, and then another two more modes are there in the combination with the prominent mode. And that combination of these three modes, one being prominent and the other influencing the prominent, those are also three more varieties of such a combination. Ekaikasho Rajan Vidyante Gatayastrida Yadyai Ekaikataro Anyabhyam. So three modes. From this three, another three combination. From that three, another three combination. So like that, there are various habits that a living entity generates. That's why we see not two people do not have similar habit. Everyone is unique. So every living being is actually controlled by these three modes of material nature. In fact, these three modes, guna, the word guna in Sanskrit means tight rope. In villages, they will make rope. They'll take some grass of some tree, they will intertwine it, then again they'll fold it, then again intertwine, then again, to make it a very strong, no one can break it. There are some villages where they make bridges to walk. with these strong ropes. They are so strong. 100 people stand on this, nothing will happen. So that is called guna, such kind of a rope which cannot be unbound, which cannot be broken. So Vedic literatures are saying Sattoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna are so strong that we cannot break them. It's very strong. Guna. That word guna means very strong rope. And these gunas, it is not like everyone is bound by these gunas. They have to be compulsorily or they are stuck with it. Though gunas are very strong, it is not that they are stuck with it. They have to go through their life like this. There is no other go. No, Prabhupada is saying one can change his habits by good or bad association. So even though they are very strong, unbreakable, but there is a chance we can overcome these modes. And the process of overcoming these modes is good association. So by development of good intelligence, if a human being can discriminate what is good association, what is bad association, he can actually change the course of his life, change the course of the gunas. Otherwise, it is not possible. To break the shackles of these modes by our own endeavor or any other process, that is not possible. Suppose I go and live in forest, no use. Association, very strong, very powerful. Most of the living entities in this material world, they are attacked by Rajoguna because they have a desire, strong desire to lord it over. They want to become the boss, master, competitive superiority they want. And that passion mixed with Sattoguna and Rajoguna, running this entire world. But if one associates with this discriminative intelligence, with modes of goodness, he elevates his life. However, if he continues as Rajoguna or as Tamoguna, he glides himself down to the hellish conditions. And Prabhupada says the best association is the service of the devotees of the Lord. Association doesn't mean I am sitting next to him, I am next to that Prabhu or next to the devotee. No, association means service of the devotee. By association, one can become the highest qualified man by the grace of the Lord's pure devotee. The best association is the service of the devotees of the Lord. When we serve devotees, that is the best association. Not that we are living in same building or same room or same bed, same towel we share, Prabhu. No. Simply living next to each other, shaking our hands. No, serving the Vaishnava. Very powerful association. And that association opens the door to Vaikuntha. So, two examples Srila Prabhupada is listed here. One is Narada Muni. Narada Muni, born in a very low family, Shudra family, maid servant. He don't know who is his father. In a Vedic society, if you don't, a person's identity is recognized by his father. If he says my father is like that, he also gets that position, that awe and recognition. And if you don't know who is his father, means he is a very low class outcast. So, Narada Muni in his previous life, he don't know who is his father, born of a Shudra woman, ignorant. Not that he is going to some school or learning something, no, ignorant. But fortunately, he happened to serve pure devotees, Mahatma, Mahat Seva. He was able to do fortunately. And just by doing that Seva and by eating their remnants, he lost interest in this material world. To such an extent, he lost his interest that even though his mother died, his mother was the only source of life for him. He is born from mother, father is anyway not there, no more brothers. So that single support in his life as a small child, she also lost. And he is not cursing, my God, what did you do? I am serving you. You left me alone without any shelter, made me anatha. No. Immediately he understood this is the grace of the Lord to become detached from material world. He is not cursing, Arey, what is this, my Lord? So much I did for you, and you still betrayed me. No. He is considering that as blessings of the Lord, so that I become more detached. That is a quality or lakshana of a devotee where he identifies the mercy of the Lord, recognizes the mercy of the Lord, even in distress, even in reversals, even in vipada, santuta, shashvat. Kunti Devi is seeing in all the vipat, she is seeing blessing of the Lord. That kind of a maturity and understanding, not easy. And that to a small child, 5-year-old boy, he is thinking, even though my mother is dead, it is a blessing of the Lord. And how all this has happened? Simply by serving the pure devotees. We have in contrast, Prabhupada gives another example, contrasting example of Ajamila. Born in a very high class Brahmana family. He has been performing Brahminical duties right from his birth in his culture. But in his youth, he got into association with a prostitute. Over. His material entanglement tightened up and he lost all the divine qualities that he has developed. See how perfect example Prabhupada is giving. Association, good association and bad association. So that association so powerful that even a Chandala can become a pure devotee. The qualities of the devotee whom we are serving, those qualities are imbibed and he starts getting interest because of purification. He starts getting interest in Krishna Katha, hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Then Prabhupada concludes, therefore the Bhagavatam always recommends the association of Mahat or great soul for opening the gate of salvation. To associate with persons engaged in lording it over the material world means to enter into the darkest region of hell. One should try to raise himself by the association of the great soul. That is the way of perfection of life. That is the way of perfection of life. What is the perfection of life? Perfection of life begins by association with a Mahatma. So, in 5th canto Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, Rishabhadeva is instructing his sons. Final instructions he is giving. before he is renouncing. So he is saying, Tasmad bhavanto hridayena jataha sarve mahiyasham amum sanabham aklishta buddhya bharatam vajadvam sushrushantam tad bharanam prajanam. He has given some instructions previously. Now he is concluding, final, the summary of all that. Therefore, tasmad bhavanto hridayena jataha. Tasmat, therefore, all of you now follow this. This is a final. What is that? You are all born from my heart. That means they are all born with Supreme Lord's inclination on spiritual life. God is their personification of Dharma. His heart is filled with Dharma. His sons are also filled with Dharma. Even though their sons are very elevated, highly spiritually elevated, what is he telling them? He is saying, Sarve mahi asham amum sanabha. You please serve your eldest brother, Bharata. This is his final instruction. You please serve your eldest brother, Bharata, and like this, tad bharanam prajanam. Like this you rule the kingdom. How you should rule? You serve your brother, and through him you rule the kingdom. So then, Prabhupada, he points out that even though the sons of Rishabhadeva are not ordinary, they are highly spiritually elevated, he has asked them to serve Bharat Maharaj and through him rule the kingdom. Then Prabhupada himself raises a question. Previously, Rishabhadeva has told, you should give up your family, you should give up your wife, you should give up your children. Like that he has instructed. This is the goal of life. Become detached. And now he is saying, become attached to Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, who is he? His brother only. Sa Sanabhyam. Brother. Elder brother. Why he is asking to again become family attached? So then Prabhupada clarifies that Bharat Maharaj is not an ordinary person. He is Mahiyasham. He is Mahatma, Mahiyasham. He is pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. Among all of them, he is a pure devotee. Therefore, he is insisting all of you serve him. Even though all the sons are spiritually inclined. Not that, okay, you are qualified spiritually, you can do your service, you can do your service. No, even though they are qualified, they have to serve through a elevated spirit, soul. Therefore, Prabhupada, he suggests, Tasmad Gurum Prapadhyeta Jignasu Sreyotam. Tasmad, Prabhupada says, this means it is insisting, it is putting a pressure. You have to accept a spiritual master. Even though you may be elevated. No, I know Vedas. No, still you need a guru whom we need to serve. Mahiyasham. In the previous to this, already Rishabhadeva has given a base for this. Why he is telling to serve Bharat Maharaj? Mahat Sevam Dwaramam Vimuktes Tamodwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam Mahantaste Samachittaha Prashanta Vimanyavaha Sudridaha Sadavoye. One can attain the path of liberation from bondage only by rendering service to the highly advanced spiritual personalities. Only by serving. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Vimukte. The salvation of door is open. These personalities may be impersonalists and devotees. So Mahatmas also two varieties. Whether one wants to merge into Lord's existence or wants to associate with personality of Godhead, the personal one should render service to the Mahatmas. Even a Mayavada, not Mayavada, impersonalist, even he wants to merge or he wants to become a devotee, still a Mahatma is required. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. So those not interested in associating with pure devotee, but they are more interested in other associations. They are wide open. They are to hell. The Mahatmas, these are qualities of Mahatma. So Prabhupada in the purport, very nice purport. The human body is like a junction. 84 lakh species, human body, human life is like a junction. One may either take the path of liberation or the path leading to hellish condition. So two choices are there: path to liberation, path to hellish condition. How can one take these paths is described herein. This instruction tells how can one take path to salvation. On the path of liberation, one associates with Mahatmas, and on the path of bondage, one associates with those attached to sense gratification and woman. There are two types of Mahatmas: the impersonalist Mahatma and the devotee Mahatma. Although their ultimate goal is different, the process of emancipation is almost same. That means, same means both have to go through a Mahatma. Both want eternal happiness. One seeks happiness in impersonal Brahman and the other seeks happiness in association of Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the first verse, Brahma Sokyam, Brahman means spiritual. So it is advised, in any case, it is advised that one become perfect. In the words of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Asat Sangha Tyaga Ei Vaishnava Achar, Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu, Krishna Bhakta Ar. To remain unattached to the modes of material nature, one should avoid associating with those who are asat. What is bad association? There are two kinds of asats, bad association. One is attached to the women, directly women, and another is attached to the one who is attached to woman. You may be attached to a man who is attached to woman, or a person who is engaged in sense gratification. So, one is attached to woman and sense gratification, and the other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with Mahatma, and the negative side is avoidance of non-devotees and woman hunters. Non-devotees and woman hunters. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, continuously he was requested that he should meet Prataprudra, king. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not very happy to meet king because king is a enjoyer, sense gratifier. So actually Maharaj Prataprudra is a pure devotee. But then generally kings are all royal people, they are all into luxury, sense gratification. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu don't want to meet. So that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives these instructions. Niskinchana Bhagavad Bhajanon Mukasya Param Param Jigamishor Bhavasagarasya Yoshitam Sangi Sangam Ha Hanta Hanta Vishabhakshanata. Very serious statement he makes. He says, Niskinchana Bhagavad Bhajanon. One who is a Niskinchana, one who don't want anything in this material world. Bhagavad Bhajanon Mukha, one who is continuously chanting glories of the Lord. For him, Niskinchanasya Bhagavad Bhajanon Mukasya Param Param Jigamishor Bhavasagarasya He wants to get out of this Bhavasagara. He is determined. This life I want to finish off. Jigamishor Bhavasagarasya Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. For him, these two are very dangerous. What is that? Sangi and Sangam. Yoshita. One who is sense association with one who is a womanizer and one who is a non-devotee or sense gratifier. Very dangerous. How much danger? Ha hanta vishabhakshanato. In Bengali, they use ha ha means it is most dangerous. Very dangerous situation. Ha hanta vishabhakshana. It is just like drinking poison. Knowing, I know this is poison, bottle of poison I am drinking. Someone is telling, don't drink, Baba. And I am, whatever. Who are you to tell don't drink? Vishabhakshanato apyasadho. That is asadhu activity. It is not a sadhu's activity. In the 6 principles, where Rupa Goswami says, Shadbir Bhakti Pranashyati, there also Rupa Goswami says, Asatsanga Tyagam. And 6 principles which increase devotion, Satsanga is mentioned. So it's a very serious. Our spiritual life begins with association with a pure devotee, with service to a pure devotee. So, Prahlad Maharaj father, Hiranyakashipu, asked Prahlad, where did you get all this knowledge? Why only you got this special Krishna conscious madness? Why not me? Why not all the people who are there in my kingdom? So Prahlad Maharaj, he explains to him that Krishnamati will not come to a people who are very much attached to material life. There, I will want to take care of my family, my children, my father, mother. They are attached. They will never be able to come to Krishna consciousness. Never. Only way possible. In one conversation, Prabhupada is talking to one devotee. The devotee is saying, Maya attack this, that and all. So then Prabhupada says, if he doesn't surrender to spiritual master, not spiritual master, if he doesn't take to this path, then neither Krishna nor spiritual master nor his father can help him. So what is that process? Prabhupada says, Mahat se Mahiyasham Padarajobhishekam. Prahlad Maharaj in next verse he says, when his father challenges, how did you get? What is this special? So Prahlad Maharaj gives the formula. Naisham matistavad urukramange. Mahiyasham Padarajobhishekam. Until and unless one takes the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee, Mahatma, and puts it on his head. Not just putting, Abhishekam he has to do. Mahiyasham Pada Rajobhishekam. Pada Raja Abhishekam. He has to take the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee and do Abhishekam on his head. Pada Rajobhishekam. Otherwise it is not possible. Prahlad Maharaj is declaring. So, these 3 gunas, to come out of these 3 gunas is not an easy thing. I will decide from tomorrow onwards, I will be Shanta, I will not become angry, I will control all my senses, I will become Jitatmanaha. Nothing will work. The only process of all of this control and go back to Godhead is serve a pure devotee, association with a pure devotee through his service. We associate with pure devotees through their service. Otherwise, it is not possible. And that we should not delay. Aram se we will do, Prabhu. No, Immediately we should take whenever opportunity comes. That eagerness we should have. Otherwise, Maya will have very smartly Maya works. Maya will say, not now, after some time. What is there? Don't wake up now. 5 more minutes, snooze. That is Maya. Maya has already started attacking. So, immediately one has to come into the association of into the service of pure devotee and engage without any cessation continuously in that. Then it is possible, only then it is possible for him, the doors of salvation will be open and the knots of Vidyante, Hridaya Granthi, attachment to this world will go. Attachment to this world will not go by my decision. Prabhu, I am detached from. It will not go. It will only go by one decision. That is, I have to serve pure devotee in his association. Otherwise, it will not go. Any questions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की शिल प्रभुपाद